Those vegan guys. I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's another Skype story, but it's only bleeding Noah Craig, one of my favourite YouTubers of all time. Craig, welcome, and thank you so much for agreeing to chat to me about your vegan story.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This series has been really, really interesting for people. We've got loads of really positive messages from people just saying it's really interesting to hear how other people went vegan, why, and so that's what I wanted to talk to you about, because I've watched your vlogs. I'm very aware of your story, but a lot of people out there won't be.
Yeah.
So if you could tell us a bit about, how this all started for you.
Like the quick version?
Yeah, I mean, the quick version
okay.
is fine, because what I'll do is if you let me know about a particular vlog of yours, in fact, I'll just link to Craig's channel up there, and you can go and bloody use your fingers to search.
Yeah.
So, the abridged version.
Yeah, so the abridged version is basically I was in college, I was getting ready for indoor track, and I started getting like really slow and really weak, and we couldn't figure out exactly what was going on. And I started getting like numb, tingly sensations like creeping in my body, like from the extremities, like my fingertips downwards and my toes upwards. It was all like coming in, and we couldn't figure out what it was for the longest time. I got misdiagnosed with a disease called Guillain-Barré syndrome, and then through the power of YouTube, I actually diagnosed myself because I just found a video about Guillain-Barré syndrome and chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy and like the differences between them. And I was like, oh, I think I actually had CIDP. So I sent an email to my neurologist, and he got me in like the next day, and he's like, yeah, actually you have CIDP, not GBS. So because of YouTube, I diagnosed myself. And then, I started getting better, like with medication, but I was told I'd be on medication for the rest of my life, and I did not want to do that. So I, again, went to YouTube, and I found veganism, and because I tried other diets, and veganism was really the one that I actually saw results with. Everything else was just like, I didn't really see any results. So I stuck with veganism, and I was like, I diagnosed myself from YouTube. I changed my diet, and I eventually got off of my medication because of my diet. And that was all thanks to YouTube. And I was told that I would never be able to get off my medication. Like people who have my disease are just on medication for the rest of their lives. So my neurologist was like, I didn't expect you to make the recovery that you did. I didn't expect you to make it as fast as you did. And I never expected to tell you to get off of your medication. So because YouTube helped me out so much, I was like, if it helped me out so much, the least I could do is give back to other people the way that I was helped through YouTube. And I'm really happy to say, I'm sure you are, that a lot of people message you saying like, you've helped me go vegan, or like you helped change my life for the better. And that's what it's all for, really.
Amazing. See, that's it. It's I think people underestimate YouTube, as in because there's a lot of silly crap. On here, but there isn't there? But it can actually be an incredible resource. I mean, you finding out all of that at the start of your journey through YouTube and kind of diagnosing yourself, and then having it confirmed, of course, professionally. But that's quite a thing, And how soon did you feel once you did switch to veganism? And I have a couple of questions to ask you about this, because there's a lot of people that have particular things, like they can't imagine, they can do everything else but they can't do eggs. They can do everything else but they can't imagine their life without cheese. So what did you miss right at the start, or how easy did you find it to do the transition?
So the first question, how long did it take? It took me about 2 weeks before I was like, wow, I feel like a lot better.
Wow.
I don't know if you're familiar with the medication called prednisone. No. Okay. Well, it causes like a lot of water retention. Like your face just gets really round. You get like a lot of acne and like insomnia. It's not as fun as it sounds. Right. So within 2 weeks, though, like all those symptoms went away, and I would tell people I was on prednisone who were familiar with it, and they were like, "What? You don't look like you're on prednisone," because like you look like you're on prednisone if you know someone who's been on prednisone. So the symptoms went away, and then the symptoms for my autoimmunity just started improving faster, because it took me like still years for me to slowly improve, because nerve damage just takes a long time to reverse. But yeah, it took about 2 weeks before I started to notice a difference. And then I actually found it like just so easy to go vegan. I think it was just because I had such an impetus behind me. It's just like, I can either be on medication for the rest of my life, starting at 20 years old, or I can eat all these plants. And I was like, yeah, I'll go with all the plants. That seems a lot easier, a lot cheaper, because it was like $8,000 per treatment. And, but high deductible insurance after like $7,000, so that it's all free. But still, like, I don't want to have to spend $7,000 every year just for my treatments. So I was like, yeah, it's much more cost effective for me to do this. And then along the way, I watched, I think it was Vegucated was the first vegan documentary that I watched that like had to do with.
That was ours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the first one that I watched that had to do with like the animals and like the environment and stuff. And that's when I was like, because like the first 6 months or so, I was just doing it for my health, and I didn't really even think about the animals or the environment or anything. And then I watched it because I do like that, like. There's different documentaries for everything, but Vegucated is like one of the ones where it's like, it's about food, it's about the animals, it's about the environment. It's like kind of like an all-encompassing one.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. But yeah, that was the one that made me go like, okay, yeah, I'm an ethical vegan. Because like at that point I was like, I don't have to change anything. Like I'm already not eating them,
Yeah. Yeah, I watched that documentary on a friend's recommendation. I was already vegetarian, and I watched it once and was impacted by it, but was still clinging on to my eggs. I was a massive egg lover. And then, which might have been why your name was attractive to me on YouTube. Wait, Craig. And then I watched it the second time with a guy with autism that I used to support one-to-one, and he said to me, can we watch it together? And I said, yeah, sure. And it broke me. It broke me, and I came home and I said to my husband Jason, everything vegetarian in the fridge is going now. We are vegan from this point forward. So it's nice to know that that documentary has impacted someone else as well, because it was it was a huge one for us.
Yeah.
So did you miss anything in particular at the start? Like, did you feel I'm going to struggle without that?
I think maybe eggs a little bit too. Like I used to like scrambled eggs. But other than that, I mean, it was mostly just like missing the convenience, I guess. But I mean, for the most part, well, actually like the first 9 months or so of me being vegan, I was raw vegan. So it was just like fruits and vegetables,
full
nuts and seeds. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it wasn't even like, I didn't even have to read any labels. It was just like, is it a fruit? Is it a vegetable? I'll eat that,
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if like that made it easier, although I now definitely wouldn't recommend someone do raw vegan, because I've seen so many people fail at it, and then they just go back to eating meat. So I think for the most part it's good to have both raw and cooked in your diet. And like there's obviously certain nutrients that are more bioavailable raw and more bioavailable cooked. So it's best to have the best of both worlds anyway.
Yeah. I think I also must say, Craig, I believe that it's through you that we were introduced to the Vegan Zombie and Joseph Lincoln. There's a few kind of other YouTubers that we watch when they do stuff that we found through you. But a particular part of I know what you do on YouTube. I've watched some of your live cook-alongs. They're epic and fabulous. But one of the things that you did on YouTube actually really inspired us to do something on our YouTube channel, and that was the mukbangs that you. They're not really mukbangs. It's a sit-down family meal with a gorgeous family chatting about stuff. Yeah. And we found them so cathartic and just so nice to watch. Yeah. And I remember watching a video with I think you were asking your mum about her vegan journey. Yeah. And she'd said it was because you'd gone vegan, and she was always interested in exploring what her kids were interested in. And I thought that was really beautiful as well, because that's just a really parenty thing
Yeah.
to do. So how long did it take for the kind of family to go vegan after you did?
My mom followed suit like a couple months later because I had tried a couple different diets before I landed on veganism, and she didn't try those ones, but I guess she saw that I was more interested in this one. And also it was really when I came home from college, because I saw it on spring break. I was watching a YouTube video. It was really exciting spring break. So I watched a YouTube video about it, and then I just was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then I told my mom before I left, I'm going to go raw vegan. And then she had a bunch of questions and stuff, but she was like, okay, try whatever you want. And then when I came home, I sort of had I knew what I was doing a little bit more. And she saw like one time I just brought home like a whole flat of peaches. And she was like, well, he's just going to eat peaches for lunch. She's like, I love peaches. Could I just do that? And so then she was like, well, if all I got to do is like eat peaches for lunch, I was like, that sounds pretty great. That's actually my parents calling right now. I'll call them back. But yeah, so there was that, and then my mom was like, well, if he's really into it, then, if it's important to my kids, it's important to me. So it's kind of like my mom's point of view, yeah.
That's the part I think is really beautiful, though, because it's, it's not many parents get that invested in their kids' lives and likes that they will adopt, the kind of lifestyle for themselves. But, I just thought that was really beautiful. Do you enjoy doing those sit down meal family videos as much as your viewership enjoys watching them? Or, and be honest here, Craig, does it sometimes feel a bit not intrusive, but a word like intrusive?
Yeah. That's actually why I stopped doing them, because I just want to eat with my family, and I've got like maybe 20 of those videos up online, and if someone finds one, they've got like 19 more to watch. So
absolutely,
like, there's a bunch of them. Yeah.
So you're about to kind of change. I think this is a really interesting point as well, because once we become vegan YouTubers, there seems to be an expectation there that everything we do must be in some way vegan related or vegan themed or a vegan recipe or blah, 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 blah. And I get it. I get why people have that expectation. But of course, as human beings, we're so much more diverse and complex than that. There's so much more to us. We're not, even though veganism is a big part of our lives, it isn't everything. And so you're about to take a little bit of a shift. And I'd love to hear about that, about what's your plan.
Yeah. So for the viewers, we talked a little bit in the DMs, and I told them that I was kind of, I guess, stepping away from vegan YouTube, although I know a lot of people are gonna be like, he's no longer vegan. Like, that's not the case. I checked with the vegan police. They said it's okay for vegans to have other interests. And in the future, like I might do a video about like vegan sleeping bags, or maybe I should talk about exactly what I'm talking about. But basically what I want to do is I start doing like more hiking, camping, and landscape photography videos. And I posted like 1.5 videos so far. Like, one of the videos was kind of that. And the other one that I just posted was just me hiking. Like, I had some like really like peaceful, quiet music in the background, the sounds of nature. And I just finished editing one that's going to go up actually tomorrow. That's it's a slightly different one. It's still in the same vein though, of like just hiking, camping, nature, and photography. So yeah, I'm really excited about doing that, because I think it's just like, I've been doing recipe videos for like the past 6 years, and honestly, like I still don't really know much about cooking or baking, because if I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't really have that much of an interest in it. Like, when I make food for myself, it's like I had toast for breakfast, and I might have like oatmeal. Those are like my two things. And then like I'll often have like burritos for lunch and like a salad for dinner. And like I just don't cook really, like, But I did for a while. I made a bunch of recipes on my channel just to show people that, like, look, I don't even know what I'm doing, and I'm still vegan. Like, you can do it. Like, you don't need to be an expert in the kitchen in order to be vegan. Like, it's easy. And I want people to be like, well, if this idiot can do it, then I can do it.
Me and Jason actually produced a free ebook not too long ago called Down to Earth Vegan, just to kind of to be that guiding support for people who are new on the journey. You can download that from thoseveganguys.com completely free. You can have it. I don't want that. Actually, Craig, I'm really interested in your camping stuff because that's another genre of YouTube video that me and my husband Jason watch.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, we watch a guy called Lone Wolf 902. And we watch a British guy called Kent Survival. However, one of the off-putting things about their channels is they're very interesting because Jason and I love camping.
Sure.
But all the meals they cook are never vegan. So it's seeing people cook steaks and eggs and bacon and stuff. So will you incorporate a bit of vegan camp cookery into your camp videos, do you think, or?
So, well, recently, since I only like just got into all this stuff, so I had to buy a bunch of equipment. So if I can not buy a cooking stove and stuff, then I will do that. So recently I've been doing like cold soaking. So I did like, I got the vegan ramen noodles, which is like the soy sauce flavor. And then, I don't know if you've probably seen ramen bombs in camping videos, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just got like, some potato flakes and TVP, and I just put that in like with the ramen, and I just like let it soak. And I do the same thing with like overnight oats. I just like soak those. Although I in an rei.com, it's a camping website. I don't know if you guys, I don't think you guys have that in the UK, but I have in my cart right now like a cooking pot like for camping. So I'm sure I will pretty soon. But yeah, I mean everything's obviously vegan, but I guess I'm not trying to showcase. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like
I guess it won't be about vegan food.
Yeah. Like I'll
camping and I totally get it. Vegan food maybe featured for 2 seconds or whatever. So are you lucky enough to live in a place where there's a lot of beautiful countryside where you can camp?
Yeah, so I'm actually really lucky that I live in Syracuse, New York, because like I just went down to the Finger Lakes, it was like an hour and a half away, and then I went to this other place, it was like 45 minutes away. That was my first video that I did of like just camping, and then like 3 hours away, I had this like massive park called the Adirondacks. And it's actually, I think you can fit like 5 national parks inside of it. Like it's the biggest state park in the US, and I live like 100 miles from it. So like that's where I'm planning on going for my next trip, which I might do on like Monday, because I like going on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because there's just less people. And especially with the pandemic, then I don't have to worry about as many people being there. So yeah, I try to go during the week because I'm lucky enough to be able to set my own schedule.
Amazing. Amazing. And is it just going to be you, or sole kind of vlogs about camping?
Yeah. So I've been like,
sorry, go on.
Yeah, that's okay. And I've been really actually liking just not talking in my videos. And so it's just like hiking and like the sounds of nature and the music. And then the last time I had a camera, this is like a lot of work, so I don't know if I'll do it much in the future, but I had a camera set up on a tripod, and then with my other camera, I was like taking photos so people could see me taking the photos, so they could like see the person doing like producing the final product. And I thought that was really cool. But it was a lot of work to carry around 2 cameras, and I had multiple lenses on top of like my tent and sleeping bag and bear canister and like all this other stuff. So it was heavy.
I don't think a lot of people necessarily understand the things we might do.
Yeah.
Like put your camera down and walk 100 yards away just for 2 seconds of B-roll. But we all do it. That's it.
Yeah.
So will you be actually, reviewing camping products like tents and equipment?
I don't have any plan to do it anytime soon, but I definitely wouldn't rule it out like in the future. Like I'm still trying to like learn a lot about camping, so maybe like in a year or so, because it's been a journey to like try to find stuff that doesn't have down, doesn't have wool, And I know it's definitely out there. And if I can make a video to help shorten someone else's search so that there's like, oh my God, I just watched this video. Now I know what to get. That would be great, you know?
Never forget, people, there are always, or sometimes, or usually, or often, affiliate links in all our descriptions. So do look down there, won't you? A couple more questions about your family, if you don't mind, Craig.
Oh, yeah.
Right, this sounds really awful. I've watched so many of your vlogs, and I have no idea what your parents are called.
Yeah, because we call them mom and dad all the time, yeah. They're Steve and Terry.
There, see, I feel so much better now. Oh, no, I do.
Yeah.
And one more thing, some more inspiration from your family was after we'd watched you and your mum shopping in Aldi. And I think that's what started us doing our shopping hauls. Because one of the first ones we did was an Aldi one, and I was like, we should do that. That looks like fun. But that's become a mainstay of our channel now. People love them. It shows them what you can get over here.
Yeah.
You know. Right, more random questions coming up, Craig. Can you name 3 of your favourite vegan YouTubers? So if other people don't know about them, they can find them.
Well, I'm sure people have heard of Brian Turner.
Yes.
But he's great. Joseph Lincoln doesn't make videos anymore. I don't think so. I would say him. Let's see, another 2. Because I'm trying to think, because I don't really watch that much vegan YouTube, just because I've been vegan like 7 years. Like, I know what to do, you know. I mean, I'd say Chris, the vegan zombie, you know, because he's a personal friend of mine. We collab all the time. I think, Derek Simnet too. If I want to watch like a good, healthy, simple recipe, then I'll usually he's a channel that I'll check out.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's really like Derek ourselves, and of course Chris, who always seems to look younger every time I see him.
He's got the Benjamin Button syndrome.
Do you have a favourite meal? I've got a feeling it's going to be somewhat like burritos, because you mentioned them for lunch.
Yeah, honestly, I've been just eating a lot of like burritos, because I've been this whole quarantine I've been like, you know, really consistent with working out, and I've also been like the most consistent with my diet that I've ever been. But I've been trying to make sure that I get enough protein, and I found that that's like really helped with like building muscle, because I feel like for the average person, like, you don't have to worry about getting enough protein, but if you're like actively trying to build muscle, then so like that's why I've been just eating like burritos with like seitan and beans and stuff. So I would say like a seitan bean burrito would probably be one of the favorite ones. And then what I had for breakfast today has been like my favorite breakfast, where just like whole wheat toast, almond butter, bananas, and cinnamon. So really good.
Sounds gorgeous.
Yeah. That's good.
We've got a very similar routine in the morning. We either have an English crumpet or a bagel, one of the two. And depending on the season, right now we're having blueberries and strawberries, but the strawberry season is about to end, so we'll probably switch over to raspberries. And I'm not promoting people have strawberries every day because of the oxalates. I'm just saying that's what we do. Do not follow my advice when it comes to that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if that's part of the reason why I wanted to switch to like more of like camping YouTube, where like I don't talk. It's because like I kind of just like don't really care to hear other people's opinions of what I'm eating, or care to hear other people's opinions of like what I'm doing. And just like, I don't want to hear it. So then so if I don't really talk and I don't like explain much, then like I don't really get that sort of feedback. So I don't know. That might be part of it.
Yeah. There's was it Eleanor Roosevelt, I believe, originally, that said something along the lines of, what other people think of me is none of my business.
Yeah.
I've just recently adopted that as a mantra, because I think as you start growing on YouTube, you kind of have to, because the amount of people that I've had to block and just like hateful stuff, and I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like, what's wrong with them? It's really never you or me, you know.
So, Craig, are you still doing the Hercules candy YouTube stuff
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. That's your kind of, you do most of or all of the filming there?
Yeah, when I'm there, I'll do the filming, but I do have an employee who edits my videos now for Hercules, and he will shoot the videos if I'm not there. But it's typically me shooting those videos, yeah. And I post as many as my mom will let me because every time I post a video, there's like just an avalanche of orders. And currently, like they have like a somewhat limited staff because of everything that's going on. So I'm only allowed to post once a week, and we actually had a video go viral. It had like I think it's sitting at like almost 8 million views, and it was like 2 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was like a 5-month avalanche of orders, or 5 week, sorry, 5 week.
And what was what was the highlighted product in that?
Just strawberry lemonade hard candy, and we've made tons of hard candy videos. I think the thumbnail was good. The title was good, and so it made people click. So as I'm sure you know, the click-through rate is pretty high. I know you know YouTube terms. Then I think the editing was just good, so it made people stick around for a while. And then YouTube was just like, oh, people are sticking around watching more ads. Like, I want to promote this. So we just hit the algorithm perfectly.
Excellent. Right, I'll start. I won't keep you for too much longer, Craig.
I got all day.
it's fascinating chatting to you.
Yeah.
If somebody said to you, why should I bother going vegan? Why?
Mm-hmm.
What might be your response?
I would just ask them what they would potentially be interested in. Like, are they interested in like animals and how they're treated? Are they interested in the environment? Are they interested in better health for themselves? Because I think everyone's got like different motivations for doing it, and I just find out like what they would be most interested in, and then go down that route. Because if someone doesn't really care about the environment, then maybe I'll talk about health. So it depends on like what the person would be interested in, and then I would probably tailor it to that.
All right, different question. I'm not vegan yet. I am.
Yeah.
I think we probably went vegan in the same year, 2014.
Yeah. I think yeah.
So I'm not vegan yet, and I come to you and say, Craig, I really want to get healthier, so I'm thinking about going vegan. What should I watch?
Force Over Knives.
Good one. Good one. All right, different question.
Yeah.
Craig, I think I want to go vegan for the animals. What should I watch?
Depends how intense they're ready to watch, because I think Vegucated is maybe a good one to like break into, because it's only like maybe 15 minutes. But if they're ready for like the really intense stuff, then obviously Earthlings. And I've heard of this other one. I think it's like similar to Earthlings, like kind of like Dominion or something like that.
Yeah, British.
I haven't watched it because I was like, look, I'm already vegan. I don't want to watch Earthlings again, so I'm not even going to watch this one.
It is actually very, very similar to Earthlings.
Yeah.
Jason and I went to the Manchester premiere and met the director. And it was a tough watch. It really was. It was, and it was that whole thing of, I don't need to see this.
Yeah.
This is why I'm vegan.
Yeah.
Final question on that vein, Craig. I'm thinking about going vegan for the environment. What should I watch?
Well, definitely Conspiracy.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And finally, for our American viewers, where do you shop most? Where do you think's got the kind of best range for people who are just starting out on their journey, or they're already established and they just want to go to one place where they can get loads of things?
Well, if they are okay with higher prices and they want to get like some specialty stuff, then I would definitely say like Wegmans or Whole Foods. But there's tons of stuff at Aldi. You can even find like a lot of stuff at Walmart, shockingly enough. So because I know that a lot of people like have messaged me saying like, all I have near me is a Walmart. What do I do? It's like, go to Walmart. Like, they have all the fruits, they have all the vegetables, they have tofu. They have, as long as you read the labels, they've got like bread and bagels, and they got soy milk, they got everything really. And they even have, I've seen like Gardein and stuff in their freezer section. So there's like, you can really shop anywhere and be vegan. But I would do most of my shopping at Aldi, just because like I don't want to spend a whole lot of money. If I could spend less money, I'm gonna do that.
Aldi does seem to be kind of one of the best places, and of course it's pretty much international now.
Yeah, it's great.
Is it German?
I think it was a German company originally. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we've our Aldi is bringing out a whole Christmas range, and we did a recent shopping vlog. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it up there. About a week ago at Aldi, and their range just seems to be getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
And it's not like you can comparatively say, oh yeah, vegan food's more expensive. Look how much that is compared to the flesh next door. They're really good prices. Really good prices.
Yeah, some stuff's cheaper. Just because, like meat and cheese, like sometimes it can be like kind of expensive. And a lot of the meat and stuff, especially if you go to like McDonald's or something, like it's all like subsidized by the government. So like people say like veganism is expensive, but like a lot of the meat and stuff is literally cheaper because of the government is stepping in to help pay for it because it's so expensive.
Yeah. Right, we've spoken for 30 minutes, which I think is an amazing time.
Yeah.
We start getting any bigger than I've done some of these vegan stories longer, and people are like, it's too long.
Yeah.
It's too long for me, that.
Yeah.
So try and keep them to a nice, concise little kind of package. Looking forward to your new spin on your channel, and we will definitely be tuning in. I've already said I'll link Craig's channel up there for those of you that don't know about him. And those of you that don't know about him, are you a bloody heathen?
Yeah.
But once again, Craig, just want to say massive thank you for chatting to me today and for taking part in this series. I think your story is very inspirational. Your family are magnificent. You're a great bloke, and this is going to be an interesting watch. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, dude.
Yeah.
I shall stop recording and then say goodbye to you again, if that's all right.
Yeah.
But for you lot out there, goodbye. Please get clean to yourselves and each other.